Okay, people, thank you for tuning in to listen to me talk once again, for 30 minutes by myself. Okay, let's see if I can break my own record and go past 30 minutes today. Wait, I want to put on sunglasses. Here we go. Hi. Okay. This is not very important news, but it's something different. It's not COVID-19. It's not China trying to kill us. It's not any of those things. It's something perhaps more personal and more relevant to young people like yourselves. Okay? And it's not pleasant. It's not a good piece of news, but let's see what we are going to talk about today. Okay. Bullied student dies in apparent suicide. Okay. Apparent means they're not sure yet. Okay. If something is apparent, it means we're not sure. Okay. So apparent means suspected. Okay. Right, so another way to say apparent is suspected. Suspected suicide. Okay. So these two words should stand out. Apparent means suspected. Okay. So apparent suicide, suspected suicide. Okay. A student at National Zhengzhi University jumped from the roof of his apartment in the early hours of Sunday after he was allegedly bullied online. So a student from National Zhengzhi University jumped from the roof of his apartment building. Okay. He went up to the roof and he jumped down. In the early hours of Sunday, so that would be early Sunday morning, maybe 2-3 o'clock in the morning, after he was allegedly bullied online. You will see this word allegedly a lot in English news articles. Okay, allegedly just means we're not sure. Okay, it just means that it's people think it's that way, but we're not sure 100%. It hasn't been confirmed. Okay, so if something allegedly happened, then we're not sure 100% that it did happen. It's just that people think that's what happened. Okay, so he was allegedly bullied online. Okay, all right, let's continue. The 21-year-old student, surnamed Huang, on Friday last week posted on the university's online discussion forum asking the public to judge a dispute he was having with a female roommate about rent. So the student is 21 years old. He is a male student. Okay. Let's talk about this for a second. I think it's worth mentioning. It's not hard, but it's often overlooked. People often don't care enough about it to really study it. So when you use like how many years old as an adjective, notice there's no s plural in the word year, and then also there are hyphens. these things are called hyphens. Hyphen, hyphen. There are hyphens connecting all the words. So, 21-year-old, 18-year-old, 12-year-old student, okay, as an adjective, okay, not to be confused with, he was 21 years old, okay. In this sentence, if you wrote it like that, then obviously there is the plural s, because you're saying he is 21 years old. But here, 21-year-old is an adjective, and therefore there is no plural, okay, in the adjective phrase, okay. In fact, no adjective phrases can contain plural nouns, okay. So 21-year-old, a 21-year-old student, a 22-year-old boy, okay, so on and so forth, okay. So the 21-year-old student, surnamed Huang, surname is Xing, right? His last name was Huang. On Friday last week, posted on the university's online discussion forum. Now, this is an interesting word. A forum is, what is a forum? A forum is a meeting or a platform, right? It's where someone can do something, okay? So you go to the discussion forum, and that's where you can talk to other students about various other subjects, okay? So a forum is a meeting place, a platform, a stage, so on and so forth, okay? A forum is an environment, a place where you can, talk, okay, or present your argument, whatever. So this 21-year-old student, surnamed Huang, posted on the discussion forum at his school and asking his fellow students, right, asking his peers, his fellow students, to judge a dispute, right? Yes. So when you judge something, you decide on, right? To decide who is right or wrong. So he posted the circumstances of his dispute with another person on the university forum. And he asked the people in the forum to decide on who is right or wrong, okay? To judge, okay? To decide on who is right or wrong. That idea, okay? A dispute. Now, let's add this word to your vocabulary. Dispute means argument, okay? Or the easiest word for dispute is fight, okay? So, to judge a dispute, an argument, a fight he was having with a female roommate. Now I wrote a question mark over here because when I read it, I was confused. He's a boy, she's a girl. How can boys have female roommates? Okay, I guess you can if you live outside of school. And again, not a good idea in my opinion. Okay, good. So let's look at, so the question mark is just my confusion as to why a man and a woman will be living together. Okay, all right. Okay, so what happened? He posted the circumstances of the dispute he was having with his female roommate online, okay, in the forum. and he asked the public to judge, to decide on who was right and who was wrong. Okay. And guess what happened, right? Okay. All right, let's continue. An anonymous post on the online forum Dcard, I guess, appeared on the same day, saying he was the last person to judge others and that he was a heavy smoker, lazy, a terrible group member for class projects, and a person with a poor reputation. So instead of getting the result that he wanted, he was probably expecting people to be on his side, right? Because he thought that he was right and people would be on his side. Instead, the comments, okay, went the other way. And one comment said that he was a heavy smoker. In other words, he smelled, he was lazy, he was a terrible group member for class projects, and he had a poor reputation. Well, that's, who cares, right? If somebody said that about me, probably I would be a little bit embarrassed, but I wouldn't care that much. But if you are a sensitive person, perhaps that would affect you a lot. And so I, for one, would not make comments like this to anyone, right? Because it is a little bit hurtful, right? Okay. All right. So let's look at the word anonymous. Anonymous means no name, okay? And literally it means no name. I think, let me see if I remember. In Greek means no or not, I guess, or no. And then anonymous, okay, or anonymous, not gnome, not nama, I think, something like that. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this. Equals name. Again, this is like old Greek, okay? So, anonyma or anima, I'm not sure, but anyway, it means no name. And no name means the person didn't leave a name, okay, right? 无名 person, right? So a 无名 the post, right? Okay, and anonymous post. Okay, let's talk about how to read this first. Anonymous. Okay. Tell you, English words are so easy to read when they're long. Anonymous. You just have to slow down, right? So an anonymous post, right? Yes, anonymous means no name. All right, so let's say you gave somebody a letter and you don't want the person to know that you sent it, so you would send the letter anonymously, okay? You would send the letter anonymously. You would send that letter in an anonymous way, okay? So an anonymous post on the online forum Dcard appeared on the same day, saying he was the last person to judge others and that he was a heavy smoker, lazy, a terrible group member for class projects, and a person with a poor reputation. Reputation is your public name, right? What people think about you, what most people think about you, okay? Or I should say how, okay? How most people think of you. So how most people think of you is your reputation, okay? Reputation is how most people, the public, thinks of you. So for example, let's say, I don't know, what's a good example? You know, 馆长 has a reputation of being I don't know, violent, right? Yes, Guan Zhang, that huge guy, right? Okay, so he has a reputation for being violent. So a violent reputation, okay? Whatever, I can't think of anybody with a reputation, but you know what I'm saying, right? So if somebody has a reputation for being a certain way, okay, right? A bad reputation, a good reputation, a violent reputation, generous reputation, I guess, okay? And in this case, of the 21-year-old student who killed himself, he had a poor reputation, okay? Reputation is kind of important, right? Okay. All right. Let's continue. Well, and then after this anonymous post, then everybody just jumped in, right? It's called the bandwagon effect. I just made that up. Okay. So, people start to, you start something and everybody jumps in and follows you in your lead, right? So now this person has just insulted and said something bad about this 21-year-old student, and now everybody starts to follow his lead, and then other attacking comments begin to come in. So a string of comments attacking Huang ensued. And what is ensue? And to ensue is to follow. So in other words, a string of negative, bad, insulting comments followed. It ensued. It followed the first comment. It ensued after the first comment. Okay. And not just one, but a string of comments, right? Many of them together, one after another, okay? So a string of comments ensued. And then at 3 a.m. on Sunday, Huang jumped from the roof of his building, leading to questions over whether bullying had played a factor in the apparent suicide. Again, apparent means suspected, right here, suspected, apparent. And of course now, after he jumped from the roof of his building, now there are questions as to whether he was bullied and that bullying was a factor, right? A factor is a reason or a cause, right? Whether bullying was a factor, a reason, or a cause in the apparent suicide. Okay, let's continue. Police said Huang has sent a message to a male classmate just prior to jumping, which read, "If you are reading this, I am not at the hospital. I am already dead." Very sad. Okay. I mean, if somebody sends you a message like this, you just don't know what to do with it. You just gotta call the police or something, right? Yes. So, all right. So, the police said Huang has sent a message to a male classmate just prior to. Review, people. Prior to means just before. So prior to means before. Just prior to jumping. Okay, so he sent a help message, I guess, just prior to jumping. Okay. Well, he didn't jump right away because I think his friend actually went to his apartment building. All right, so prior to means before. Try to remember these words. I will ask you about them later in class. After receiving the message, the male classmate ran to Huang's building, and Huang jumped after the classmate arrived to try to coax him down from the building's ledge, police said. So the male classmate who received Huang's message, ran to Huang's building, and he arrived, okay, before Huang had jumped, and he tried to coax. And what does coax mean? Coax means to convince, 说服, to persuade. Okay, so to convince you, to persuade you, to coax you. Okay, right? So you should know all these three words. It's good to know many words that mean almost the same thing, because you don't have to use the same word again and again, and this will help you. Well, it helps you anyway, but it will help you particularly when you're writing essays. Okay, all right. So the classmate arrived to try to coax, convince, persuade him to down from the building's ledge. So the ledge of the building is the edge of the building. So if this is the building and this is the ledge, right? This is the ledge of the building, the ledge, okay, right here. So the edge of the building, the ledge, the edge. Actually, the word ledge has the word edge in it, right? See, ledge and edge, right? So the ledge is just the side of the building, the place of the building where it drops off into the street, onto the street. Okay, all right. Also known as ledge. All right, so he tried to coax, convince, persuade him down from the building's ledge, edge, and obviously he was not successful. Okay. Huang left a note in which he blamed the suicide on bullying. Well, that basically settles it, right? He said, I'm jumping because people bullied me. All right, I don't know. Okay, so Huang left a note in which he blamed the suicide on bullying, police said, adding that Huang's family members did not offer any reasons to contradict the note. Okay, so in other words, the police asked the family, well, does he have any mental problems, emotional problems? Did he have any other problems in his life? And his family did not offer any reason to contradict the suicide note, which said that he was bullied. Okay, so contradict is to say something that is the opposite. Okay, so say something opposing to the first thing. Okay, so if you say that Daniel is handsome, which everybody says, and then Henry said no, he's not handsome. Well, see, Henry just contradicted everyone, right? Okay, so contradict, and Henry continued, he's not handsome, he's very handsome. Okay, good. So contradict is to say something opposing the original statement. Okay, so in other words, let's make it simple. It just means oppose, to 反对, to say something different, to say something that is opposite. Okay, contradict. In fact, contra means against, and then dict actually means word. So contradict actually means against word, right? Words against, if you turn them around. Words against, contradict, right? Okay, All right. Contradict, oppose the note. Following the alleged suicide, classmates posted on the online bulletin board, Professional Technology Temple, confirming that Huang had been bullied online. Oh, so classmates they posted and then they affirmed. They actually agreed with the suicide note that he left, that he had been bullied online. Okay, so following the alleged suicide, classmates posted on the online bulletin board. It's just a 什么留言板哈，bulletin board is just like a 留言板. Okay, the bulletin board called Professional Technology Temple, confirming that Huang had been bullied online. Okay, they confirmed it. Okay, confirm means to prove true. Can I say that? Yeah, I guess I could say that. Hey man, what happened? All right, to prove true. I guess you could say that. So confirm means to prove true that Huang had been bullied online. Okay, prove to be true. Prove true. One user said there was a recording uploaded to Dcard in which Huang could allegedly be heard yelling angrily at classmates during a class. Here, I think it means online class, right? Online class, right? So this bullying happened online, and then when he was having an online class, I guess some of his classmates that bullied him were in the same class, and he was yelling at them. Okay, so I guess that is, and it was recorded. Another female user who claimed to be Huang's roommate said that wow, he had lots of female roommates. Another female user who claimed to be Huang's roommate said that Huang last year was having emotional problems that affected his schoolwork, but was helped with the support of a professor he respects. Okay, so emotional problem, another word for emotional is mental. You all know this word mental problems, emotional problems. Okay, he was having mental problems. They're not the same. Emotional problems and mental problems are not the same. Colloquially, when we talk to normally, it's the same, but really it's not the same. You can be absolutely normal and have emotional problems. Having mental problems means that you are a crazy person, that you should really go seek help. Okay, so but these two words are interchangeable in everyday conversation, but not strictly in a scientific sense. Although Huang was eating only one meal a day since last month, that's actually very good, by the way, he seemed to be more emotionally stable, the roommate said. However, Huang began having conflicts. There's a missing S here. However, Huang began having conflicts online with two new roommates, she said. Okay, so apparently there were two new roommates, and then he was having conflicts with them. Okay. He should not have aired the dispute online, but it is too late for us to tell him that now. People must think before they post things online, she said. The school said it would get in touch with students affected by the suicide and encourage any student who has problems to ask the school for help. Here, aired, that's like a 1980s word, right? You guys are too old to use this word, okay? When you air something, you air it on TV, okay? So, in other words, you should not have made public, okay? So that's what it means, air, to make public, or maybe posted, right? Yes, or if it's a video, then it's uploaded, right? Okay, so all these words mean aired, which probably doesn't apply to the internet world that you guys live in, and I suppose I live in now. All right, so aired means to air means to make public, to post, or to upload. Okay, he shouldn't have done those, made public, posted, and uploaded the nature of his dispute with his female roommate online, because once you do that, then you open yourself up for bullying. Now, of course, it's not to say you can't blame the victim, right? You can't say, well, it's his fault because he made public, he posted, he uploaded the dispute online. It is not his fault, but it's just that maybe it would have been better if he didn't do that. And he did, and that doesn't mean that you can bully him online. If you have listened to me in class, you know how I feel about that. I feel like it's a two-way street. I think we should be nice to each other. We should not bully each other. If you have there is an old saying. I'm going to write it right now. I'm going to make it nice and big and colorful. That's blue and yellow. Those are good colors. Okay, here it goes. And the saying goes, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. That's more of a sort of a modern way to say it. Okay. So I think that is very good advice. If what you want to say is not good, then don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Let's say your mother cooks dinner and it tasted terrible. Don't say anything. Just don't say anything. You don't have to lie and say, wow, it's so delicious when it tasted terrible. You don't have to lie, but just don't say anything, right? Just be quiet about it, right? Same thing. This 21-year-old student, Huang 同学, right? Yes, he posted online. He made public his dispute with his female classmate. And if you don't like him, if you don't have anything good to say about him, don't say anything. Just be quiet, right? Now, if more people follow this advice, there will be few people jumping from buildings, okay, because of the internet, okay? So online bullying, a real phenomenon, and please, don't take everything so seriously. Don't be so sensitive. If people say what they want, it doesn't matter. Don't let that affect you. But also, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. I have been Daniel, and I'll see you guys in class soon.